thank you for joining us on the Moms for America podcast. I'm Debbie Carlitis, and we are so glad that you are here today. You know, when moms get together, we inspire one another. And we're here today to support each other, encourage each other, and the greatest work that we will ever do, and that's being a mother. So we have a really great guest today. I know I say this every week, but she's a special mama to me. I met her a few years ago. She actually is a friend of Moms for America. She was a featured guest speaker at one of our Mom Talk events. And she is a great resource for you as a mother. So you're going to want to take some notes. You want to get connected with Mona. Mona is an author. She is a speaker. She's a mom coach. She's the host of the Moms Like Us Do Things. Wait a minute, let me get that. The Moms Like Us Do Things Like This live show. That's a mouthful, Mona. And she's the founder of the Moms Like Us Academy. She is a special, special friend. And I am so glad that she is here joining us today. Welcome, Mona.
Hi there. I am so excited to be with you. I love
so
Moms
great.
for America, and I love you. And I am so happy to talk to the moms today.
The thing that I love about you, Mona, is your spirit and your wealth of wisdom. And that's what we need as moms. And that's what we need just always to be learning. So before we get started about all the good mom stuff, would you tell us a little bit about the Corwin family? I love kind of finding out who's a grandma, who's not, how many kids, what you're doing. So give us a little intro to your family.
Okay. Well, I'm Mona Corwin, and I have been married to my man for over 40 years. We met in high school in Mrs. Parker's English class. And the joke stands that that's why I have run-on sentences, because I wasn't listening to Mrs. Parker. We also have 5 kids, and 2 are bio boys and biological boys, and 3 are adopted into our heart girls. We have 2 daughter-in-laws, which we call them daughter-in-loves because we're in love with them. They're amazing. And we have 2 G-baby boys, and I live here in Dallas, and I love my family. And like most of you, I wanted my marriage to succeed, and I didn't want to screw up my kids. And so, I wish I had Moms for America, and I had the Moms Like Us Academy, because it was kind of a struggle for me at the beginning, but I made it, and you can too.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I guess we wish that mothering came with a manual, but a lot of it is learning on the way. Every family is different. Every child is different. Every marriage is different. Every situation is different. So we need lots of input. We need lots of mentoring. We were just talking about this before we went live here, that mentoring is a biblical principle. I mean, we should be inspiring and teaching one another. So let's talk a little bit about your mission. You say that you want to help moms crush it at motherhood instead of motherhood crushing them.
Yes. And that is exactly what you can feel like. You can feel like I'm being crushed by this. Right. And one of the things that I find is that a lot of moms, they're struggling. They're silently struggling. They're embarrassed, and they think that they're just one more yelling match, one more mistake away from being exposed as the worst mom ever. And it's because their expectation is that I should know this. I'm a woman. I should know how to do this.
Or my kids should be listening to me.
Oh, well, everybody thinks that, but news for you, that ain't going to happen. We just have to work around that.
Right.
Because sometimes kids don't listen. Right. But the point is that when you feel like that, you feel like you're the only one, and you feel ashamed and you feel alone. And the truth is, you do not have to know it all. You will not know it all. And as you keep going along, more and more, you will find out that you really don't know what the next step is. Even when you have 5 kids like I do, the third one was different than the first, and the second one never did what the 5th one did. And, you're like, what is going on? But that's why mentoring is so important.
Let's talk about your calling for mentoring moms. And I'm just always so inspired by you. You'll give me little tidbits. In fact, when I talked to you a couple of weeks ago, I said, oh, a story you shared about with your husband and your daughter actually happened with my husband and my daughter. And when we share these stories, and we all know that we're in this this battle, I don't want to say it's a battleground, but it's a journey, motherhood. So how did you end up being a mom mentor? How did this happen? I mean, obviously God called you, and he knew that you had a special place in your heart with other mamas. So how did this happen?
Well, the first thing that happened was I got saved when I was 19 years old. And it was in a church that I didn't attend, but where I worked, I had been invited to this church. And so I got saved that Sunday, and I went back to work, and nobody even asked me if I had a Bible. Like the woman that should have come along, because she was the pastor's wife. I mean, she should have come along and like checked on me, right? But she never did. And so the discipleship for me as a believer was not there. And so I had an immense desire to learn, but I didn't know how to do it. And you don't know what you don't know, right?
You don't,
so
right?
When I finally figured out like what this whole Jesus thing was about and learning how to pray and all of that, I learned from older women. And I thought, this is never going to happen to anybody that I meet that's a new Christian or new believer. Well, that just kind of folded in when I became a mom. And when I became a mom, I'm like, okay, now I'm a mom.
Now
I know how to read my Bible. I know how to pray. Now I'm a new mom. I needed to find an older mom to help me. And as I did, I realized that was my go-to. But it's biblical. In Titus 2, it talks about the older women teaching the younger
women. Yes.
And it actually explains exactly what they're supposed to teach them. So I thought, okay, I know a girl that just had a baby. Let's go through this list. And in my own simple way, I started mentoring moms. And it just kind of became more and more. And I always knew I would do something for moms, because stay-at-home moms especially they are devalued. And the feminist movement was moving really hot and heavy in the 80s when I had my some of my kids. I've seems like I'm having kids my whole life, but
and now you're grandma.
And now I'm a grandma. So
you're pouring into your grandchildren.
Oh yeah. They're not getting away from me. That's for sure. But as I watched that, I could see that it was devalued, and I knew how important it was. And so, I always knew that I would do something for moms. And over the years, I absolutely have done a lot of those things. And the Academy is the conglomeration of it all. So,
all right. Well, let's talk a little bit about the things that are important to be sharing with moms. Obviously, a new mom is different than a mom that has a teenager. There's all these different seasons of life. Now, I have a 23, a 21, and a 16-year-old. Obviously, that's a whole different situation. I got my first one getting married. In college and in high school is different than we have the little ones. But I think sometimes that when moms, sometimes there's not the church isn't mentoring. So that's why a program like yours is so important. That's why Moms for America is so important. When we encourage moms to get together and inspire one another and share our greatest stories, that's where things really happen. Because if we don't, we're really on an island. And you say something here too. Motherhood isn't a natural talent. It's a skill, and you have to learn it. And I think that sometimes moms feel like, well, I'm a mom, I should know this. My kids should do this. This should happen. And I think even you have this idea that when you're going to be a mom, this is the way it's going to go. Well, it doesn't go that way. And like you said, every child is different. Every situation isn't. This culture is different. The difference between my 16-year-old and my 23-year-old, holy smokes. I mean, I'm battling things that weren't here 7 years prior to that. So talk about this, looking at it as getting our skills together as a mom.
Yeah, it doesn't take us very long to figure out that we don't have the skills to do this. All we have to do is like be in the wheelchair, being taken out to the car, right? And we're like, you're going to let me take this kid home? Like, I don't know what to do, right?
What's happening?
Unfortunately, and hopefully you have a mom, an auntie, somebody coming alongside to kind of help you know how to bathe the baby and all of that. But we still have to learn as we go.
We do.
And there isn't a school for moms. Well, I guess there is now with the Academy, but I mean, there isn't a degree that you can get in being motherhood or marriage. And we're not supposed to be winging it. When you wing it, you're going to lose your momentum. You're going to get stuck. And then you feel frustrated, embarrassed, and all the things, and you feel overwhelmed, and you believe the lie that this is just a mess. Debbie, the negative narrative that motherhood is a messy thing. It's an awful thing. It's the drink wine until the kids go to bed at night thing. That's a lie. It's a lie that the culture has put out. Motherhood is too sweet of a season to spend it struggling all the time.
I love that. Too sweet, too sweet of a season. And then that's it. We get sidetracked or we feel discouraged. And it is really, I mean, think about this. God is giving you this life and you got a chance to raise this. Mm-hmm. What a big amen. And it really is a beautiful thing. So we want to inspire moms. What are some of the struggles that you're seeing? I mean, COVID, this has been just a crazy year. I know you were so concerned. You did a lot of different lives, a lot of dressing the moms. What did you see and where are we now with the moms and just kind of coming out of this crazy fog of COVID?
Yeah. Well, first of all, nobody ever asks what a stay-at-home mom does anymore. Mm-hmm. Because when we all got locked down, we
homeschooling, everything, right?
Nobody ever asked, what do you do all day? Right. Now they all know exactly what we do all day. Yeah. So I did see a lot of frustrated moms, especially moms that were working and they had to work from home, whether they were just working part-time or full-time. And I saw the frustration of them being able to try to do everything at one time. And that is eased up. And as we're coming out of this, I'm seeing moms that are much more attuned to what's going on in their schools, what the curriculum is, and how they weren't really happy with what they were teaching the kids from the school. Right. And they weren't really content with the things that they were seeing. And there is nothing like a mama that is thinking that their kids are getting a good education and they find out in actuality, this isn't a good education at all. Right. And now we have all the critical race theory that's coming out and
the sex education. I went to my school board meeting for the first time. Last month. So there is a lot of stuff that it's coming out and we're like, what in the world is going on? But I think too, now summer's here, we've got a kind of a fresh feeling with our kids. We can go outside. The masks are relaxed, but there still is some kind of, some cleanup. I feel like that some of the kids are still dealing with having no friends, no social activities. So we really, as moms, we have to even come alongside our children and even be more involved and really more helping them.
Yeah, this is another reason. And I just want to make a point here that when God decided to send his son to the earth, he didn't put him in academia. He didn't put him in a village for everybody to have input. He put them in the arms of a mother. He put Jesus in the arms of a mother, protected by a father, inside of a family. God designed family for purpose and for protection and for provision.
You're so right.
And it's so important that as a mom, we are coming alongside, no matter whether it's COVID or not. If your kid is feeling anxious, sweetie, it's your responsibility to figure out how to help your son or daughter move through this anxiety of this COVID mess. And the kids they haven't been around people and they might've been hearing, people are dying. And they're one of the that parents,
a lot of fright.
They're afraid their mom and dad are going to die. But they can't process that. Right. So there's conversations that can be had and learning what those are to be able to have with your kids and like just to have friends, like making that time and figuring out a good place for friends and all of that. Moms are turning their their eyes towards their homes and their families like never before. Like never before. It is beautiful to see, but it is also God ordained. And you know what? Even though it can be messy, even though it can be kind of chaotic, you can have peace in chaos, just so you know. And God created you for this. You are equipped. Your hormones, the actual blood that runs through your veins, the way your brain fires, the size of your brain. We have all these CAT scans and MRIs of what happens when a child comes in the room and their mother is there. Like there's endorphins that are released when a baby sees its mother. And when a baby can't see its mother, the anxiety that baby feels. We have the research that show mothers are important. And mothers need to have the confidence. And, yeah, sure. Yelling is an issue. Biggest thing for moms is yelling. But you know what? We can figure it out. We can figure other ways to have the clarity and the confidence and the tools and the skills and the systems to have the confidence to do things a different way. And I'm just super excited that moms are literally taking the reins back to their kids and their schools. And they really are, Deb. They really are.
I want to ask you this question too. I think a lot of parents they'll say this, out of COVID, I connected back with my family because we were all inside. I mean, there were struggles with it. But I think there was a new connection where people kind of got to know each other again. I said to everybody, we're not going to all be in the house separate in our rooms. If we're stuck in here together, we're going to be together. So we did projects and movies and discipleship and reading. I mean, we all kind of just said, okay, we're stuck with each other. But I think out of that became some renewing within the homes. Would you agree that moms kind of said, all right, I'm getting this?
Yes. yes. And yes, because the way our culture was rolling, we were all rolling at a very high speed. Everybody was complaining about being in the car all the time, the sports, the church, even the church, like we were all just in a whirlwind outside of our home. And home became a place where you just kind of come in, hugs and kisses, do your homework, go to bed, and then go out to do the real part of life that's outside of the home. And this has always been the defeat of and contributed to the decline of the American
family. Right.
But through COVID, we were all in the home and more was taking place inside of the home and people were reconnecting. We have got to stop letting the culture define what we know to be true. They have redefined things, words like dictionary words. They're redefining.
Right.
They don't get to do that.
They're redefining moms.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The word, when you have something in front of this is so interesting. When you have something that's it means what was the original is inadequate. So it needs to be you need to redo it, redefine it. So redefine your womanhood, re-educate. I mean, these are we need to take that power of
that's right.
And we need to reset. We need to restore. We need to reestablish. We need to rediscover all that God created family to be. Yeah. And and it's different in every single era.
How about this? When you're talking about how about revival for the moms in our home?
Revival.
Yeah.
And because inside of our home is where we are going to teach our children, not letting someone else reteach what we're already teaching.
Right.
What we need to establish and tell them they're not going to tell our children what the definitions of anything is. But to do that, little mama, you got to know.
Right.
And that's why, like for the cottage meetings that y'all have, and all the patriotism, I was talking to Kimberly recently about like, how do we have patriotism in our family? I've had people come and tell me, Mona, all your kids are such patriots. And I'm like, well, I guess that's true. But you
But you raised him that way. You shared that with him.
We're
You taught that with him.
patriots.
Right. It's
We're
catchy,
patriots.
right? That's what everyone says. Our kids catch what we are.
Yeah,
What
but
we
we also got
share.
to teach. We got to repeat. See, it's the power of that re.
It is.
And I'm all about reestablishing and restoring the value to motherhood, marriage, and womanhood, which has been hijacked by the feminist agenda. And
Yeah.
I've had just about enough of that feminist stuff. I was a feminist back at the beginning, and it's a mess and it's a lie. And an ism, feminism, ism means it's a theory. It's not a fact.
Yeah.
And after 55 years of this experiment, we need to just let it go and quit the male bashing and elevate who we are as women and men, and just establish that strong foundation of what God says about roles, not jobs. Like, they literally ripped roles out of the conversation.
They sure did.
And we went straight from men and women to jobs. So it's not my job to take the trash out. He needs to take the trash out. No, that's a job. Your role is a woman, a wife, a mother, a friend, a child of God, those roles. Right. And then the jobs are the things you do because of those things.
Because of it, right. And really, it is all about serving one another and helping and guiding and loving. I think too.
About Jesus.
So, I mean, if we, like you said, if we look at this as all a job, we're going to just be disappointed, grumpy. This is just going to be a miserable setup. And
the fulfillment does not come from
no.
It comes from being, not doing. So in the academy, we teach, there's a.
Let's talk about the academy. Let's get onto that. Right. So we can go online, we can sign up for it. We can take our classes. And we'll put all this information here so people can go ahead and get it. But you said, I'm going to actually do an academy. Come on and join on. What do? We sign up and we take a class?
Well, this is what happened. I got so tired of trying to get moms to be able to be equipped and to be able to do this mom thing in 5-point Pinterest posts or a blog.
Or Instagram.
Instagram. And now the Instagram stories now are 15 seconds and I have to put the words in there. And I'm like, done.
You were getting probably censored too, like everybody else. If you want to talk about motherhood, you're probably getting censored now. I mean, come on.
Oh no, I'm pretty much leaving. We're leaving Facebook in the next month, and we're going to the YouTube show. The Moms Like Us Do Things Like This live show, where we'll go deeper into subjects. But in the academy, each month we have a focus, and we have 4 focuses, and they rotate through the year: motherhood, marriage, self-care and spiritual growth, and home and organizing and budgeting and stuff that have the home. Some of the most favorite ones that the girls have are like the home ones, like how to clean your house, like how to really clean a bathroom well. Like, I know that's a simple one, but I mean, we also do other fun things about home and budgeting and things like that are good to know. The academy is meant to take all of 4 of those areas to an expert level. You should be able to become an expert. You shouldn't have to, even with the changes in the kids and how old they get and everything changes, you should have enough systems and skills in place and tools that you're able to not like fall apart at every different stage of your kids or your marriage or your home or anything that the enemy would decide to throw your way. So each month we have an expert in one of those four areas, and they go deep in a teaching, in a master class, because it is an academy. And then the next week, there's a resource. It's kind of like Now Implement, right? An implementing resource. And then the third week is Q&A with me. So I go live, and anybody that has questions, it's just kind of that. There's replays for everything. And then the very last week are special things that I want to put in. Like recently, everybody got a Starbucks gift card to go out and get it. It was a self-care month. And so you just never know what I'm going to send in your mailbox or whatever. And there's a monthly fee for this academy because the teaching is deep. And I'm just super excited with what's going on. And the transformation that women are having is the confidence and clarity to stop this negative narrative and say, I am crushing it at motherhood. Motherhood is not going to crush me.
Thank you, Mona. You're so inspiring. I think all of us need to be constantly, like you said, mentoring and growing and seeing what resources are available. So you have some great resources. People can follow you on social media. We'll put up all your information. I just love that you love moms and you're speaking truth to them. And in motherhood, it really is. It's the greatest gift any of us can really ask for. And whether you're an aunt even or a grandma now, I mean, women are always cultivating. We're always sharing. We're always teaching. So I think all of us have a lot in store for us. No matter, I don't have grandkids yet, but I can't imagine what it's like when you get to have your grandbabies, because that's super fun too. What about to the grandmas? What do you say to the grandmas?
Okay. Well, your job isn't over, but it takes on a brand new, wonderful turn in nurturing. God has created women to nurture. That's part of our essence.
Our gift.
Again, it's hormonal. There's lots of stuff. There's actually science to back it up. And as you come alongside as a grandma, I have two things that I would encourage you to do. The first one is encourage your kids. Don't instruct them like your kids. When I am with my son and daughter-in-law, I look for at every turn to tell them what great parents they are, because actually they are good parents. If they weren't great, maybe I wouldn't say great, but I would use a term. You're so attentive. Just find something. You make life fun. Okay. And to support them. Your job is to support them and not teach them. They will have to learn all the things that you had to learn too, and their kids will disappoint them. And so to encourage them that they'll get through it and you're doing good. And if you need any help, then please
ask.
I'm here for you. I read a book. It's called How to Be a Parent to an Adult, because our parenting is over, but we're still mom and dad. Sure. And the name of the book says it all. It's keep your mouth shut and leave the welcome mat out.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So just encourage and do all that. And then the second thing has to do with the grandkids.
Yes.
Let them know how much you love them and how connected you are to them. Make that bond work. Don't tell them, oh, you're so pretty, you're so smart. We don't need to encourage them in those things. You need to instill value and identity into them. Yes. One of the things that I do when as soon as my grandsons run up to me, I take their face in my hand and I say, what are my eyes telling you? And they say that you love me. And they say, I do love you. And God loves you too. Amen. And that to have those little things that you moments do with them, like it's repetitive, they expect that. And I've been doing that for a really long time. And then we bless them and we pray over them as we're leaving. Even if it's a fast thing. Oh, God bless you. And I know God's going to be there for you. And, when you get up there, you're going to be brave. And, I'm praying you're going to be brave, and let them know that God is the center of your relationship and your life. And then pass that legacy of acceptance and love for who they are, not what they do, onto them. So those are my two advice. I guess that would work for moms too.
Right. Well, I think I find that sometimes, we'll be at events and people be like, well, I'm a grandma. I don't have any young children. Oh. What am I supposed to do? And I say, boy, you are in the best seat ever. That gray hair that you have, that either we're coloring it up or displaying it, that wisdom is so, so important. And I just want grandmas to know, geez, take your rightful spot encourage, inspire, and speak, because I remember my grandparents. I remember there's a special place, and we should make the most of every time in our life, whether it's young children or our grandparents. So thanks, Mona.
You're so welcome.
So to all our moms, great resource here, the Moms Like Us Academy. Go ahead, sign up, follow Mona on all her social media, because she does do a lot of social media. I always enjoy hearing from you on social media. And thanks for loving the mamas.
Oh, you're welcome. I don't know. I've thought about quitting more
You
times.
can't.
Oh my gosh, this is a lot of work, just so you know. But my kids always come back. Mom, you'd be doing it in the grocery store. You might as well reach more moms than what's in the grocery store. So I'll keep doing it.
All right. Well, we look forward to having you on again, Mona. Thank you. God bless you and all that you're doing. And
God bless you all. I love what you do.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day, Mona. Thanks for joining us. All right, everyone. Wasn't that great to have Mona with us? She is wonderful. Again, stop by, look at all her information. She is a part of our team, and she will be speaking actually at some of our upcoming conferences. So you'll be able to maybe meet Mona in person. So thanks for joining us. We love the mamas. And remember, we are moms changing our world one home at a time. Thanks, moms. Talk to you soon.